Back with another video today. I'm kind of in a more casual mode. I got my, I don't know if you can see it, Muscles and Mascara shirt on. One of my favorite shirts because I feel like it sums me up pretty well. It's being more casual today, and I just wanted to answer a question that I get asked a lot, and I thought maybe I could make a full video out of it. I'll try to make it a short video. I'm such a rambler. And I don't know how to cut myself yet in videos and clip myself out. I'm trying. But I thought I might do a Q&A in the next coming weeks because I get asked a lot of questions that it won't take me as long to answer. So I thought I could compile a bunch of the questions that I'm getting and just do one Q&A video. So if you do have any questions for me on anything that I do, or my personal life, or my dog, because I know you all love her and seeing her pictures, or my books, or my website. I don't care. Any questions that you have for me, leave them below. Ask me on social media. I'm trying to save or write down as many or screenshot any of the questions that I'm getting so far. So hopefully I can put together a good Q&A video for you in the coming weeks. But this video, I wanted to touch on why I started my blog, because I get that question, kind of all the time. How'd you get started? Or when I tell people that I'm an author, they ask how I got started, and I really credit my book blog for that. Any interviews I have, it's usually always a question on there, so I've answered it several times, but I thought it would be fun to kind of sit down and talk to you guys and give you kind of my reasoning, my backstory, my thought process on it. It was 2009 that I started Chicklet Plus, and it was in October is our anniversary date. We just did 5 years last year. We celebrated with a big giveaway with a bunch of authors and other bloggers, and it was a lot of fun. But so a little bit more of a backstory. I have always known I wanted to be an author. That's like a whole other story in itself. So I can maybe do a video on that sometime. But literally since I was 9 years old, I've known that I wanted to write books. And my thought process was, it's really hard to be an author. You have to be so talented. You have to also be lucky. You have to maybe have connections. I feel like if I go to college for it, it might not work out. And then what do I do? So in high school, I thought, go to a real school and get your real degree. And if you still have this, far-fetched idea that one day you can be an author, then you can pursue it after you have your degree. So that's what I did. I went to a business college. I got my bachelor's degree. I also met my husband there, so good thought plan, Sam. So that was good, but it was right before I graduated. It was it was my last year of college, and so my fourth year, and I still was like, I really want to do something with writing. What can I do? I actually read the book Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin. Obviously, I love that book. Obviously, I love Emily Giffin. I've actually interviewed her over the phone one time, and it was like the total fangirl moment of my life. It was, I'll get into that in another video too. But I read her book, and I was just so inspired, and I was so inspired to do something more. And I thought, I don't have to wait until I get that diploma or that degree. Let's start something now. Blogging was really big in 2009. It was really catching on, really gaining popularity. And so I thought, why not give it a shot? Why not start a book blog? It's kind of the same thing with YouTube. YouTube's really popular. Why not give it a shot and just see what happens? And I started looking at different book blogs, seeing what people were talking about, seeing what people were writing about, seeing how their blogs looked. And then I thought, okay, I can do this. I love to talk about books. I love reading books. I read all the time. I've always read all the time. You will never ask me, what are you reading? And I say, oh, nothing right now. I don't even know what that means. How do you not read a book? It's just crazy. That's just what I do. So I thought, why not take this passion, something that I do every day, and be able to talk about it, and maybe something will happen out of it. And then came the part of actually getting my blog. And you guys know that I'm not very good at tech stuff. So I thought, how in the world do you even create a blog? How do you make a page? How do you put an image up? So I hired someone to do it for me, and she's not in business anymore, or else I would totally give you her information, because not only did she build me this beautiful website, and Chick-lit Plus has changed a lot over the years. We just actually got a new blog header on the website. Changed a lot, but the very first design was like a blonde girl. It was a cartoon character kind of looking thing, but a blonde girl talking on her phone, and she had a stack of books. It's totally me. So she not only made the blog for me, but she gave me advice. You know, she hooked me up on a WordPress site, and she kind of explained to me how I make posts, how I make pages, how I do even like HTML coding. It was really helpful. You know, of course there was a big learning curve for me. It did kind of take me a while, and trial and error and tears and frustrations. But now I know my blog. I mean, you know, it's been 5 years. I know it like the back of my hand. It takes me nothing to throw a post up there. I was really grateful for her help and her support, and her making me a beautiful website that I love so much. From there, the books that I just was going to the library, getting books, and then I was reviewing them on the site. You know, sometimes I would buy a book and review, sometimes I would swap with friends, and I would review those books. And literally the first few posts that I had that were book related, because it was Chick-lit Plus from the beginning. I've always been Chick-lit Plus and done more than just books on there. But if we're talking just straight book reviews, that was all I did. And I think it was 3 months later, I got an email from Jackie Collins's agent, publisher, asking me to review Jackie's books and interview her. And I was like, yes, please. What's happening? And really, it was around that time, all of a sudden, I started getting these emails from agents and publishers and authors themselves, and they were like, hi, I'll send you my book if you review it. And I thought, you're going to send me a free copy of your book, and all I need to do is read it and then review it, which is what I do anyways? I mean, I thought I had hit the jackpot. It was the most amazing thing ever. And it really happened. People really sent me their books. And, you know, back in 2009, ebooks were coming out, and they were fairly popular, but I didn't have an e-reader at that time because they weren't like a must as of that point yet. So I was getting all these print copies in the mail. Me and our mailman were on like first name basis. Even when I moved out of my first apartment and I moved into a condo with my boyfriend, now husband, I got to know the mailman there because I would get so many books in the mail. It was completely overwhelming. It was so cool. I thought to be able to say like this is kind of my part-time job is amazing, because it's something that I absolutely love. And I think it just goes to show, if you really put your energy into something, you know, it took me a long time to learn WordPress. It takes time to read books. It takes time to review books, and it takes time to put your posts up, and then it takes time to get on social media and to talk on social media about your posts and to try to make connections so other people will want to read your reviews and want to go to your website. That takes time. I do make money from my blog, but not a lot from the actual blog itself. You know, I'm an Amazon affiliate, so I put Amazon links in there, and I get very small commissions from Amazon each month. It's nothing to write home about. And I sell advertising on Chick-lit Plus because we have so many page views a day and a month that I do sell advertising on there. But you know, back in the day, it was really just, it was my passion and it was fun. It took time, but I was enjoying it. And I really credit Chick-lit Plus for helping me break into my writing career, because I made so many great connections with other authors. You know, they would ask me to review their book, and I would, and we would make this connection. And when I thought, okay, I really am going to do something with this manuscript that I wrote, I was able to then ask these authors, hey, do you have any advice for me? Do you have any editors that you would recommend? Can you tell me about your process? And I still don't think I will ever be able to explain fully how amazing it was to have so many of these authors take their time and email me back and tell me, you know, their advice, their stories, their connections, give out names. It's so amazing. And I really aspire to be able to do that myself for other people. So I get so many emails, you know, for people asking the same things, for recommendations and for advice, and I try to respond to every single email and just say what I know, because people did that for me, and I just want to keep that circle going because I think that's just so amazing. So I really do credit Chicklet Plus for helping with my writing career, and then not only just my writing career, but from Chicklet Plus, you know, I created CLP Blog Tours, and CLP Blog Tours truly is, I mean, I call it a part-time job, but sometimes it feels like more than a part-time job because running a blog tour company takes an extreme amount of hours. You know, I do charge for blog tours because it takes so much time. I first started them, which I think was in 2011. 2011? Yeah, I think it was 2011 that I started CLP Blog Tours, and it was just kind of, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I have all these connections with all these other bloggers now that I'm in the book blogging community. Why don't I do something good with it? Why don't I try to connect these authors to these book bloggers? And it really has just done so well. I'm so busy with those, but I'm so happy to be doing it because I love doing it, and I think it's so cool that I can kind of be that middleman and I can help an author and a reader kind of hook up. I just think it's amazing. I love what I do for CLP Blog Tours. I hope I don't ever have to stop doing them because I think they're fantastic. And again, if I didn't have Chicklet Plus, I wouldn't have CLP Blog Tours. You know, CLP is obviously Chicklet Plus, just shortened. So everything that I've done in the book industry all revolves back to Chicklet Plus. Chicklet Plus was what opened the door for me. It's what gave me connections. It's what gave me the confidence in myself to be able to put myself out there. It is really scary sometimes starting something new and learning and putting so many hours into it, but to see it all come together and to see it all be worth it, oh my God, now I'm getting emotional. Very exciting. It's a very proud moment when you see that. So kind of, if I have any advice that I could ever give, was if you know what your passion is, go for it. If you don't know what your passion is, try to find it out. I have worked so many jobs because, you know, back in the day when I was convinced that I was never going to be able to make it as an author, I thought I wanted to be all these different things, and I worked all these different jobs, and I tried to figure out what it was I wanted to do. I'm really glad I ended up not giving up on being an author because I'm so happy where my life is today. This is my full-time job. Books is what I do all day, every day. But I really do hope that if you have a passion, that you go for it. And I don't mean quit your job and go do what it is you want to do. You know, I started 5 years ago and I just did this full time as of last year. So it took me years of working a full-time job and sometimes a full-time job and a part-time job and the book blog and the blog tours and trying to write books on top of it. So it was hard for a few years trying to balance everything and get your time management down and still be able to have a social life as a 20, 21, 22-year-old. It really is all worth it. So, you know, if you can do something part-time that's in your passion and see if you really do like it and you really do want to jump into it, I hope you can do that. I hope you can find it. If you have found it, I think that's amazing, because I still hear some people say, you know, that's so awesome that you found what you want to do with your life. You know, I'm 25 or whatever it is and I can't figure it out. Try to figure it out. I really try to figure it out because it's so worth it once you do. It really is so worth it. So that's just a little bit of my story. I hope you enjoyed hearing it. I hope maybe it sparked something in you to, you know, try to, again, find that passion, find what you want to do. It'll give you a kick in the butt to try something new. And, you know, everything we do is a risk. Basically, that's how I think of things. When they pay off, it really does pay off and it really does feel good. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.